About to begin.
Hello, and thank you for joining me at NAB 2026 here at the Sony booth. I am Joseph Shimizi, Cinematic Live Market Development Manager for Sony. Today, who will be joining me, and you just saw their sizzle reel up here, is Zack Pittman. He is the he is the founder of CINELIVE Broadcast Group. Go on and join me, Zack. Grab a seat. All right, so we're just going to jump right on in. So first, a little bona fides, because I think that always helps. So Zack is not only a founder, he's a proper engineer, jack of all trades, and it's always nice to read somebody's client list when it's this good. So we've got Disney, Mr. Beast, Amazon, Netflix, Mariah Carey, Dude Perfect, the U.S. military, and even a theatrical release under your belt. So, you know, we'll be talking about Cinematic Live today. And what I wanted to get into was how you got into Cinematic Live. You seem to have had a very successful company creation and engineering to support it. Why? How did you get into it? Why did you see this coming when other people didn't?
I saw a need in the market that everyone desired the cinematic look live, but it was all piecemealed. And it wasn't until really Sony releasing the F5500 that sort of made that a non-piecemeal situation, but the lensing wasn't really up to par for the market. And so it was actually Fuji releasing the Duvo series. That was the final nail in the coffin. Kind of for a couple of years, we put this business plan together to make this, but it didn't make sense because you needed so many more cameras because the cinema glass, the servo cine glass, you only had wides or mediums or tights. So you had to double or triple your cameras. And so the moment we had full servo travel like we do for broadcast lenses in the cinema realm, the moment that came out is the moment we decided to pull the trigger and create I won't say the first, but maybe the first full 53-foot, at least full broadcast truck in the U.S. That's cinematic.
And how many years now has that truck been on the road?
We launched it 2 years ago today at NAB, just 100 feet away from here. So it's 2 years today. We were building the last, we put the last monitor on the wall the night before NAB opened.
Oh, goodness. I think actually I do remember that. So, you know, one of the things, not only did you see it coming and you built an entire truck around it, but I know one of the things that separate CINELIVE Broadcast Group from other folks that are doing Cinematic Live also very well is your ability to do a production in one day. You can show up and then roll out in the evening. How do you accomplish that?
It's not fun, but it's possible. One-day wonders are in the cinema world were tough before because you would have to do a lot of camera prep ahead of time. You would have to spend multiple days prepping. We've done several one-day wonders where we roll in, do a 12 to 18 camera shoot live to tape or live, most of them live, and we're out by that night. It's a 22-hour day, but it's still one day, and it's really tough to do that with any event, but especially doing it cinematically.
What part of the technology complement actually allows that to take place?
Well, with Sony, it's just the fact that it's the camera build is the traditional utility build that every camera op and utility are out there are used to. It's you got the head, you've got the camera, you've got the sticks, It builds the same. It's not third-party accessories and 20,000 different items going together, because with that 5500 and the Duvo, it puts together like a traditional broadcast camera. Now we do Venice and we do a lot of other stuff also, but the primary set is that. And so it makes it to where I can hand a local camera op or utility, here is your set of gear, go set it up, and we don't have to baby them. We might choose to if we don't want a $200,000 lens to get broken, but we don't have to if we trust them.
So the truck itself is standardized across the HTC F5500.
Yeah, the standard, the truck is the F5500, and then everything else about the truck is just normal utility use. I mean, there's nothing, we're adapted, we adapted industry norms across the whole rest of the truck. So we're not doing cutting edge, or we're not doing the most edgy thing everywhere, because we want to be able to roll up to a show and it work every single time. And clients to trust that it will too. Not just me as an engineer / creative / business owner, which is a terrible combination. Like, it's just clients have to trust that when we roll up, it's just going to work.
And in line with those standardized workflows, what's your approach to color? Because cinematic control with LUTs and all the rest, are you an RCP man, or are you a LUT man, or are you both?
All of the above. So for us, actually, in most of our workflows, all of our color comes back to us in log. So slog3, SKMet3 is what we've chose. And we use our colorists. So actually, instead of having more of a traditional V1, we actually train up colorists to become V1. So we've got a couple guys that we use primarily on most of our shows, unless some of our clients actually choose to bring their own colorist in. But a lot of our shows will bring our own in. And we've trained these guys to actually become V1s. They're more post-production workflow guys. So we actually bring everything back in log, and we use LiveGrade from Pomfort to control via color box. And so it's instant, no latency, no added latency through the whole chain. But we can choose to have we can choose to capture that LUT or that pre-LUT and record it. So post-show, we can actually take it and cut an HDR show if we want to, if it's an SDR transmission. So we're not locked to whatever the primary show is. We're actually capturing as much data as possible. But every camera comes back, whether it's the F5500s, whether it's a Venice, whether it's an FR7, whether it's an FX3, comes back all the way to us in LUT. And we can choose to record it pre or post-LUT, but we can also choose for the line cut whether we're going to be HDR or SDR. And so we do corrective LUTs to color balance. But then the great part is we can have a DP. A client can bring a DP on the truck, and DP can choose to say, hey, let's audition some looks here. And just with Pomfort and LiveGrade, we can, all cameras at one time, we can start adding creative LUTs on top of the corrective LUTs.
So then I know let me see what we have here. So I think we actually have some behind the scenes photos of some projects you've worked on.
I think there's a couple of them.
We're going to get those guys up. Hold on, I'm going to get my clicker out. I forgot it yesterday, but I have it today.
Oh, yeah, this was a fun one. This was actually one of my favorite ones this past year. So this was actually the fastest, what's the term? From inspiration till final product movie that's ever gone to theaters that at least we can figure out. So by the time we wanted to spin this up to the time it was in theaters was under 90 days, I believe.
And this is Dude Perfect.
This is Dude Perfect. There's a proper 1,000 theaters nationwide. First thing I've ever done to theaters. So we shot this live. We did 2 nights. And this was the Dude Perfect tour that they decided it was they're going to sunset this tour. So they wanted to cap it off in a good way. And it went live to theaters for 3 weeks. I want to say it was I don't remember how many, but it was in the millions of views it got. But there's a couple different slides. Just so there's you can go to the next one. So this is just a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. So the Duvos, Venices, F5500s, tons of FR7s on this one. Yeah. So this was a fun one.
How long did the prep take?
So this prep was on our load-in day. So we had one load-in day, 2 show days. So it was it was a normal one for us. Thank God it wasn't one day, but yeah, it was our set day was really our prep day and on site. So we very rarely do off-site camera prep days. We almost never have to do that.
That's amazing. So let me punch you to the next one here. I think we have. There we are. So this is which
Yes,
project is this?
Oh, this was the same thing, same show. 5 Duvos at front of house. That was fun. A lot of guys, a lot of long lenses. This was arm. Oh, I guess I don't have to turn
yeah, I
around.
guess we don't have to.
There's monitors here. We're pros. We should know this. DSMs.
Late.
Yeah. So Army 250 military parade. That was an honor to be able to do that. That's the, regardless of politics, that's the first time in America we've ever had a military parade, and we got to shoot it. Whether or not the news stations just chose to take our feed or not, or use theirs was a different story. But that's politics for you. But this was fun. This was 28 cameras across almost 4 miles of space. We were up on top of the Lincoln. We were almost on top of the White House at one point. That got nixed. We were up on top of the Washington Monument. I mean, this was like 10 days. Like some of these guys were with me. It was like 10 days of hell. It was fun. But when you're doing something like this, this was the White House lawn basically. It was the eclipse or the ellipse. It's a lot to do something like this within that vicinity and high security. But it was fun. It looked great. Because actually, one thing that saved us was because we were doing log, we had rain come in at the last minute, and so it changed our look drastically. And the only saving grace that this even looked halfway decent was the fact that our colors could just across the board just make adjustments to adapt to the fact that it was cloudy and rainy and just totally different look than the sunny look that we were going for, and just do that across 24 cameras in real time, in just a matter of minutes.
And this was an HDR show, or you did this in SDR?
We did this in SDR. We were going to do this in HDR, but last second, just through some technicals for transport that we weren't handling, we switched to SDR.
Okay, move on to the next one here. So this is a little bit more.
Yeah, same thing. Lots of jibs and cranes and agitos and handhelds. But the great part, I mean, this is a testament to Sony. It's just what's the apparatus? What camera do I need? There's a camera that Sony has for it. From whether it's Venice, whether it's F5500, whether we actually had a bunch of 5500s on this too. I had to put a bunch of cameras on like huge lifts, and I needed some 127 buys. So I needed to go longer than the 25 to 1000 would go. So I needed some 127s. So we used the 5500s too. So we were mixing 2/3 and broadcast, or 2/3 and cinematic on this from both small and large all the way through, and everything matched. I don't think there's another manufacturer that you can do that with, cameras wise.
They try.
Yeah, they try. We can go one more, I think. And this is another sort of group of clients of ours. So we do a lot of house of worship. This was a fun one. This was a 25-hour nonstop broadcast. It was called Gather 25. It was around the world. Basically, it started in the U.S. I think we did like the first 6 or 7 hours of it, and then every hour it came back to us as the host. But it went around the world in a bunch of transmissions from around the world, and it ended back in Dallas. But just a 25-hour house of worship event that was shot all cinematically.
So and this is a good example here. When you're shooting with cinematic cameras against an LED wall, what's your approach to that?
Well, one of the huge benefits here is, I mean, just the physics of being shallow depth means that you're not focusing. You don't have that hard, in at least broadcast, that hard CCD focus on the edge of a pixel. That really kills you in Moray. But even in large format, like the shallower you are, the further you away from focusing on that. Forget scan rate and frame rate and everything else that goes into that. If you can just not have your focus on the wall, it helps you a ton. So that's just a physical phenomenon that's just a lot easier with cinema cameras.
And within these shows, I mean, dedicated hard fiber is always the safest way to fly. What's your approach to wireless?
Wireless is fun. Wireless is tough. Because for us, because we transport log, log is that you need as much data as possible to come back to recreate that LUT, to transform that. So we have to take that log, we have to transform it to whether we're doing SDR or HDR, and then we also have to add the color to that. So going from S-Log to Rec 709. If you use your average wireless system out there on the market, you don't have enough bandwidth, enough data coming back. By the time you apply that LUT, the whole thing just falls apart and it doesn't work well. So we have the added hurt of needing to push a lot of bandwidth, and also we have the fact that in unlicensed spectrum, which is where most of these products live, it's hard to do that. So in unlicensed, we use Teardeck Ranger once in a blue moon now. We used to use it more, but we're actually adapting to Waves Central. In fact, we actually just used a new system of it yesterday on a Disney Plus Devil Wears Prada 2 red carpet that we did last night. Because it actually has a feature called dual pedestal, so you can get twice the amount of bandwidth out of it. And it's the only thing on the market that, at the moment, that we can get that much bandwidth back to transform that LUT back.
And that's 10-bit then?
10-bit.
10-bit.
10-bit ACR, 422, yeah. And it's just some more behind the scenes of the same show. So, I mean, we get to do a lot of cool stuff. It's never, I mean, with Mr. Beast, we got to do something with Mr. Beast in the NFL where we literally launched humans out of a cannon. You know, take an average Mr. Beast show that they do in post-production, but take the standard of that and try to do that live. Like they have all day to edit that stuff and make it look cool, but we had to do it live with the NFL, and it was technically on the largest stream that's ever been created in humankind because it was a Thursday night. It was the opening Thursday night football for the NFL last year, and they did it on YouTube for free. So it's currently still, I think, the most streamed live stream in the world. And Mr. Beast, we had some bits in the middle, the beginning, and the end. We did it live, and it was all about shooting humans out of a cannon, breaking into the game. That was a fun one.
And would you say it's streaming that really was one of the first places to draw the cinematic live aesthetic into live?
Yeah, most definitely. The SVODs, the streaming, whether it's small or big, the traditional networks were definitely slowest to jump on this, but they like it now. So there's everyone's kind of jumping into the live cinematic side now.
I don't think we have pictures from it, but I know your project with Mariah Carey was another Herculean effort lift, but that was also a single day?
No, it was a single day shoot. We had a half a day load in and a single day shoot on that one, but that was Mariah Carey's Christmas Apple Music special, and TikTok Live. Also broke the TikTok live stream record on that one, I think, too, that night too. So it's kind of cool just to be a part of record-breaking things.
So then when we're looking to the future, and I know when the show, I've had a lot of people come up to me and ask me about Cinematic Live, and a lot of folks looking to get into it. I asked this on another panel, when you're approaching somebody who's maybe just getting out of college, and they're saying that they want to take on the Cinematic Live aesthetic, where do you suggest they start? How do they begin to build out?
That's a tough one. I mean, I think the whole approach just goes back to anything in our industry in live production, whether you're audio, video, lighting, is just find a way to get experience. Just get out there and get your hands dirty as quick as possible. Schools are great, but experience is worth 10 times more.
Where'd your experience come from to get you started?
Oh, Lord. I was 12 years old, and I saw knobs on a sound console at church, and I'm like, I want to know what that does. And that just spiraled from there. So, yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to see coming down the pipe? If there's when you look towards the future, I know we'll see the live aesthetic expand, but from technology and features, what is something that you'd love to see coming down the pipe for a new tool, or what would make you happy?
I think something very universal and compact. If you're just talking in very general scopes, just very universal and compact and easy to use. And just so take like, if we're talking like 10 years down the road, take the world of what you can get out of Venice 2 today, and what you have the size of a FX9 or Burano. But it just, all the things that we wish all of them would do, it would just do all of it in just the palm of your hands, just super fast latency, the best, imager possible, unlimited battery life. Like, that's the direction we're all trying to go.
And $100.
And $150, But yeah, I mean, we're going that direction. It's just we're commoditizing.
Democratizing.
Yeah, whatever. We're moving that direction. We're everything is becoming more less commercial, more consumer, and consumers moving fast. And I mean, consumers driving the HDR workflow faster than the professionals are. You're on your phone, you're flipping through your phone real fast, and your screen gets really bright. That's HDR, and consumer side is driving that more. I mean, and that's how we know that. And the cinematic side, that's how we know this is going to be successful. I don't know if you how much you beat your head against the wall during the 3D days, but that was the flip of that. That was the professional side leading that. The professional side said, "Hey, let's do 3D." The consumer side said, "No, I don't like this," and just 3D died. But every time the consumer side leads something, the professional world always follows. It's always successful, and it stays. So, resolution was one of those things that professionals sort of started to push, but really consumers were slow. And now it's taken 10 plus years for us to get 4K. But cinematic, everyone had a DSLR. And it was because it's a DSLR, it's net, and large sensors, small camera, it's natively shallowed up the field. Well, the professional world was slow to adopt that. But consumer side was faster at HDR with your phone. Professional world has been slow to adopt it. But we know that because the consumer world has adopted this, it's a safe bet for the professional world. We're coming in on the tails of the consumer side, consumer demands, but we know the market's not going to reject this.
Are there any projects you can tell us about coming up that we should be looking forward to see from
Oh man, there's so much I wish I could tell you about. I have so many NDAs. It's probably best I don't, because I'm probably going to violate one of them somewhere. But there are some very, 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 very fun things that we're working on. One of them, all I will say is it will be the most viral thing on the internet coming up soon. Whether it's good or bad, whether it's successful or not, it'll be one of the most viral things. And I wish I could tell the world, but I can't. So,
well, with that, Zach, I want to say thank you so much for your time and your expertise.
Thank you to Sony for just really Sony and Fuji were the biggest believers in what we launched just over there 2 years ago, and it's been Sony support, it's been Linda, it's been the entire crew here. Sony's just been a great partner through this.
Thank you so much, and thank you all for joining us. This has been Zack Pittman with CINELIVE Broadcast Group here at NAB 2026. And I believe we're the last panel of the day. So as they say in Vegas, tip your waitress and have a great night.
Thank you.